Hello, dear students. Again, I'm coming with another video today. And today also, I am bringing one very important topic for you all. It is about the management of those 3 hours. So, by the word 3 hours, you might be understanding that I'm precisely talking about the day of exam, that particular very moment when you will be writing the exam, right, of any subject. So, how you will manage it? You have to plan it now only so that successfully you can manage. Because I have seen many students from this long experience of being a teacher that many a times very good students also gets panic attack. They get nervous, and due to which whatever they know, they are unable to show it. They are unable to express it. So you must have a foolproof plan for it so that whatever you have done so many years, I mean, right from your uh, beginning classes, prep one or class one, because 10 years you have studied for this particular exam for class 10, and 12 years you have studied for class 12 exam. So obviously, all your hard work should not go in vain. You must get your desired result. That is your right. So, how you will get it? I'm going to discuss today about that. I'll not take very big or long videos, but still it will have certain points. You listen to it completely. Don't leave the video in between. Go to the end of this and you extract the points which are important for you. So let's start it, right? So basically, if you ask me from the experiences what I got, the ideas what I got, I'll say that those 3 hours actually are only one part of the total program. Before 3 hours, I have actually these things I have divided into three parts. One is pre-exam. Pre-exam means I'm not talking about the preparation timing. I'm talking about the timing just before the exam starts. Pre-exam, then during exam, and post-exam. So these three phases you have to work very sophisticatedly, and you have to do it in such a way that your every hard work will pay you. So I'm discussing all these three phases. First phase is pre-exam. So I have noticed many a times students used to report at the last moment before the exam starts. So already you will be knowing through your admit card that your exam center reporting time is between 9:45 to 10 a.m. In between this timing, you should be inside the exam hall. So I request all of you, please try to take 15 minutes in hand and try to reach by 9:30 the exam center so that whenever the center allows you to go inside the room, you can be there well ahead of time, because this can be also one of the reason of getting be pain, right? You should not panic. You should be very cool. But if you will be late, then you may panic. So be very, very careful about that. Report at least 15 minutes before the scheduled time, right? The next important thing is that once you reach the center, you are allowed to go inside the room after examining your roll numbers. Definitely, you should occupy your own seat and sit there without talking much with your friends. Because I have seen students used to talk a lot before the exam. They used to discuss about the things what the other or his friends did and he did not do, or so and so. Please don't do it. This will make you panic, more panic, and then this may create nervousness for you. This may create destabilization in your mind about the particular exam. So be very alert about this single part. So don't talk much. Take your seat and then just wait for the exam to begin at 10 o'clock. Now, the main part is the exam, that 3 hours. This is the 3 hours game, right? Because throughout the year, whatever you have written, whatever you have read, everything now will be expressed within these 3 hours only. If you will do well in these 3 hours, then everybody will praise you. And if you are not able to express yourself in these 3 hours, no matter how hard you worked, it will not be appreciated. That's the irony. But unfortunately, we all do that. Okay. So these 3 hours is the main part of your entire preparation. So at 10 o'clock, your exam will start by the distribution of the copies, the blank answer script. So whenever you get the answer script, very importantly, you have to carefully fill up the OMR sheet without making any mistakes. I would again request you that if you have the slightest doubt, don't just fill it. You take the help of the invigilator, get it filled correctly. Because these are the OMR sheets which are checked under the scanner. So scanner will not know if you commit mistake unintentionally or what. Right? So it is always very important that you fill it correctly. And secondly, you cannot expect also that if you do any mistake, your copy will be replaced because every center gets a designated or a particular number of copies which may not be in excess, right? So CBSE used to send exactly the counted number of copies, just keeping hardly 5 or 7 copies extra for very untoward incidents. So you may not get a new copy if you commit any mistakes. So be careful about that. So you get 15 minutes for doing that from 10 to 10:15 a.m. Do that very precisely. Then at 10:15, just before maybe 1 minute, your question paper will be distributed. So as per CBSE planning, 10:15 to 10:30, it's time for reading the question. Again, I would like to request many students I have seen earlier that whenever it is the reading time, they used to take pencil and they used to like mark something in the question paper, or they, if it is a maths paper or science paper, they used to do some calculations. Please don't do that because this is totally against the CBSE guidelines. If any invigilator will not ask you anything, it's very fine. You will not be disturbed. But invigilators are also under the rule. They have to follow the rules. They are under the pressure of CBSE's rule. So some of the invigilators might definitely uh, say you something. Then you may be not in trouble. I'll not say that you will be in trouble, but you may be nervous. You may not feel good for that. So don't allow that particular situation to arise. So don't write anything during that 15 minutes time. So that 15 minutes are precisely for reading the question paper. Do it well, plan it, which question you will start with, etc. Then at 10:30, your writing time will start. So 10:30 to 1:30, that is for a full length paper of 80 marks or 70 marks. But then if you have 2 hours paper, or maybe sometimes 30 marks paper, or 40 marks or 50 marks paper, these are all for 2 hours. So your exam will get over at 12:30 in this case. So anyway, let me keep as the full length paper of 3 hours. So if you are having the paper, I already told you at 10:30 you will start right, and then you write comfortably. Then one another important informations or instructions by CBSE is that you should not use other colors, right? Other than the blue colors. They say blue or royal blue. These two colors only you have to use for writing. That means I'm talking about the color of the ink. You should not use black ink, because I have seen many students used to use black ink because they find it good, but you are not allowed to do so, right? Why that I cannot say you right now. This is actually the policy of CBSE. This is related to evaluation. So I'm not saying you, but you please follow. You don't try to with black ink. And as far as the marking is concerned, like sometimes you want to underline or sometimes you want to highlight. So in that case, you can use black ink, no problem. but don't use reading in that case. To use reading and greening is completely different. Be very, very precise about that. Next, uh, see, asking for a separate sheet, extra sheet in board is different from your normal examinations. In normal examinations, I mean school examinations, the invigilators are ready with loose seats or the extra seats or the supplementary seats. But in case of board exams, it has a number. We have to keep the account of the extra seats. So because of that, it may not be so that in the room already loose seats or the supplementary seats are supplied. So whenever you feel that you need a loose seats or extra seat during this board exam, make a plan that you can ask it before 5 minutes. What I mean to say is that once you reach the last page of your copy, right, then only you ask the invigilator, ma'am or sir, I need a page or a sheet. So in that case, that particular invigilator will arrange it for you. Will get the CBSE in charge will get the informations. So that you do. Otherwise, you may have to wait, right? And then very important point. These are all the regular points which can be said by anyone or you can read it out. But very unfortunately, there may be untoward situations. So what are those? I'm going to discuss now precisely about that. Please listen to me very carefully because I think it will help you immensely. If everything goes well in those 3 hours, we are lucky, you're lucky, let it go very well, I wish. But sometimes what happen due to any reason, maybe like in case of maths, if I say due to not knowing one problem, or maybe doing some sticking to a particular calculations or doing something which you did not expect to do may create a panic situation for you. You may be feeling or you may be nervous at that moment. You may be under the anxiety. And I tell you that whenever it comes during the exam, it's very, very difficult to manage, right? It can kill your complete exams. So what you will do? I'm giving you a very fresh way, a very good way, which really worked for me as well when I was a student. And it will help you immensely to control that particular moment, what exactly you will do. But before that, let me tell you what happens if this situation arises. So once you are under this situation, you will have a different feeling. What different feeling? You might feel that your head is reeling, chakkar aa raha hai. You may be thinking that the surrounding is rotated, it is revolving, you are stable. You may be also feeling that your forehead becomes very hot, head becomes very hot, and your toe and feet becomes very cold. You are about to feel like you are shivering, right? Actually, it is not happening, but it's the feeling psychologically. And then you might feel pain in the stomach. You might feel the vomiting tendency, right? So anything can happen. So once it comes, I'm telling you, if you feel any of these situations, you have to really be very calm and quiet. Please do not continue to write or think any of the questions of the question paper in that particular very moment. You'll be surprised because in between exam, I'm telling you, but this is the best way. Please put your pen down, keep it on the desk, and then very straight you sit, right? Your backbone straight, close your eyes, take some deep breath. Like this, you do 3 or 4 times, and during this, what exactly you have to think? You will just think that when you are inhaling, you are having confidence, you're gaining confidence, and when you are exhaling, you are throwing, you're pushing all your drawbacks out. Do it for 5 or 6 times. You may not believe me, but this is all psychological, and we have to make our brain full at that moment, right? We have to like divert our mind from that situation to a good one. So this is the best way. You divert yourself from that particular situation. Because if you will continue with that situation, I can tell you very surely that that situation will definitely make you such that you will commit mistakes in every another problem or every another question you are going to continue with. I hope you really don't want to do so. At this very moment, if you lose even 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes for doing deep breathing, that 5 minutes is not wasted because that 5 minutes will really preserve the other questions which you know very well, and it will help you to score still a good mark. So believe me, you have to follow this. Next, supposing that it is happening after 1 hour of the start of the exam, then you are allowed to go out. So by that time, if you haven't gone out, you take the permission of the invigilator. No need to say anything to him that what you are thinking, what you are feeling. You just take permission from him, go to the washroom, and put cold water, sprinkle cold water on your face and eyes 2, 3 times. Feel fresh. Now it is winter. In the month of March, when you will be appearing your exam, there may be chill in the air. So that sprinkling cold water might give you little sensation that's needed. That will help you to come back to the normal situation from your panic situation. So this is very important. Now, at that very moment also, you have to do something. Mind work. What you'll do, what I was doing, I'm telling you. Once you face the situation when you go out for toilet, like washroom, that time don't think what had happened to you inside the room. Try it. Try to divert your mind. Think something for which you have laughed a lot earlier. Think that situation, bring it back. Any funny situation, not other situations, remember it. If you like any cartoon characters which is funny, you can think about. If there are some incidents which are very funny, you can think about. Just think mentally. Go back to that for that 1 minute or 2 minutes. For me, I was thinking about Charlie Chaplin because I liked Charlie Chaplin very much. You can think about Motu Patlu or maybe Mr. Bean or maybe anything which you feel to be funny and relaxing. Very important thing. And believe me, dear children, it acts miraculously. You will really come back to the normal situation, and then again you can start with the full enthusiasm. Now, another suggestion. Once you come back to the normalcy of your situation, don't start with that particular question where you start. Leave it completely for that moment. Start with a fresh question, with a fresh mind, and then keep on going. I tell you that your exam will never be messed up. You'll really perform as per your preparation, right? And whatever question you start with, at the last, you attempt it. And I'm sure that you will be able to do that also. Okay. And basically, this happens for maths and science. So, as a maths teacher, I'm suggesting you this. Do follow it. I tell you, you will not regret following this. So, this was about the exam. Now, the third phase, post exam, right? Before post exam, one very important point I missed out. Let me tell you. Once you finish with the paper, at 1:15, around 1:15 or 1:20, there will be a warning bell for you. It is dependent on the center actually. It is instructed by CBSE, but some centers may not ring that bell. So at 1:20 around, you make a point that if you have some additional pages to tie with, or in case of social science, the map, you please tie these things before invigilator reminds you. Do it at least 10 minutes before your final timing, 1:30. Because at 1:30, you have to submit the copy, right? As per instruction of CBSE, when the bell of 1:30 goes, you're not supposed to do anything. You should stop writing completely. If some invigilator will tell you that after 1:30 you have written, this is not good, then you have to accept it because it is instructed. So please make it possible by 1:30, within 1:30 only. Don't beg for 1 minute, sir, 2 minutes, sir, etc. These are all bad things which will really carry some negative impressions. As for my feeling, I don't know about others, but so please try to finish it within 1:30. Don't let the invigilator get some scope to put you down, right? Okay. Of course, I must say, invigilator never once intentionally. They are also under the pressure of the rules, laws, instructions, because there will be a center superintendent who will definitely instruct that you have to submit total copy of your room by this time, or you are late to collect it. So because of that, they may do so. Okay. Now the post exam. Post exam is not a very difficult thing, but thing many times mishap occurs here also in both the cases. If you have done so well, pretty well in the question paper, then you may be over enthusiastic. You may be very, very happy, and due to this happiness, you may be leaving your admit cards, maybe other belongings in the exam hall. And if you do so, okay, center might be collecting it, but nobody knows if some other will pick it up and they will take. You may lose this. So while coming out of the exam in any situation, good or bad, whether you have done good or whether you have done bad in the exam, don't forget to take your belongings back with you, right? So these are the things which I wanted to share today with you in this video. In a subsequent video, as I told you, I promised you, I'll definitely show you how to fill the OMR sheet and how to attempt a sample paper, particularly for maths. Thank you so much and bye bye. All the best for your exam. Bye. See you again in another video.